Benjies, welcome to the BingeWorthy podcast, part of the Geekish Network. My name is Randy, and I am your host, and I've got a great set of co-hosts with me today. My first co-host is Miss Courtney Scott, right? Courtney, say what's up to the people, man.
Hello, hello.
And my next co-host is Rakai. Let people know who you are, son.
Hello, Governor.
And coming in, she's back with us. She's been gone for a while, but we're happy to have her back. Dayla, say what's up to the people.
What's up from Kamanoa or former Kamanoa?
And batting cleanup, we've got Chuck. Chuck, say what's up to everybody, man.
What's up, everybody? I'm over here counting my midichlorians in my body.
Oh Lord, that was
I'm
yesterday.
counting them right now.
That was yesterday.
I
The
got more than
force is in
25.
us.
I got more than 2,500 because Jedi have much higher than 25,000.
Oh.
2,500.
The premise of our show is we binge watch an entire series to let you know if you should. And today we are going to be reviewing Disney Plus's Tales of the Empire. This is on Disney Plus, as I just stated. It's 6 episodes with a runtime of about 15 minutes. And in this installment, it is set in an era different from Tales of the Jedi, the Star Wars timeline, with one path following Morgan Elsbeth and the other following Jedi Barriss Offee. Is that right? Is it Offee?
Former Jedi, Barriss Offee.
Offee, okay? Barriss Offee. Now, what we do at our show is at the beginning, we are going to rate it using our unique binge-worthy scale. We engage in conversation, and then we re-rate it towards the end. Now, none of us know how the other rated the show. So I'm going to call upon my technical director, Rodney. Please let me know, how did everybody in binge-worthy rate Tales of the Jedi? I'm sorry, Tales of the Empire. All right, so what we got? Okay, so we got a full meal. We got a binge-worthy. We got a binge-worthy. We got another binge-worthy and a full meal. All right, what is it? 5
Mini
of us?
meal.
All right.
You got 2 mini meals.
Basically, it works out to a full meal.
Full meal. All right, so I'm gonna trust him. He's the math guy here. So that gives us
His M count is high.
I know, right?
4.2.
4.2, right?
Yeah.
He's got a
That's what
high
you do. You got
M
a high M
count.
count. That's right.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Can't hear you.
hey.
Can't hear you.
No,
He's
y'all
too
gotta be
busy
laughing.
laughing.
Y'all got me laughing. All right, so let's talk about this. I'm gonna start with you, Chuck. So, this is the second installment of the Tales anthology. For the first one, we got Tales of the Jedi, that focused on the Jedi. This one is Tales of the Empire, which focuses on some of our Empire characters. Was this a good decision to shift from focusing on the Jedi to now focusing on the Empire?
I do think it's a good shift. The two stories they told, I think one of those could have been told, another one didn't have to be, and it changes every day which one it could have been told. Other one I could care less if they told it or not. The legend of that story was enough for me. But I think it was a story to be told, the Tales of the Empire. I think one of them leaned on the Empire stronger than the other one. And it let you know that one thing that a lot of the stories that do the Empire stories, there's always dissension in the ranks of the Empire. Like it's kind of a free for all. Where the other one is usually about the Senate and people trying to get along, and it's not as people aren't as cutthroat. It's not as cutthroat, you know. So I thought this was a really good showing of that. It gave a good idea where some of the Inquisitors came from. I'm like, who are these Inquisitors? They just joined up to say, I'm riding with the dark side on this. I'm just gonna ride with them. But it's interesting the stories they have with them though. So I
Okay.
thought this was necessary to tell some backstory of the Empire. Then the people that sit there punching numbers in for the Empire, handling science, or building a Project Stardust, which is the strip club in space.
Oh God. Why? Why? You all will have to
Oh,
watch yesterday's
wow.
show to understand that reference. That's a
Y'all
callback
should
to our
watch
show yesterday.
yesterday. It's Project Stardust. I didn't give it the name. They gave it the name Project Stardust. I didn't give it the
So why
name.
don't you refresh for the audience and me what actually Project Stardust is? Because that was one of my questions and I forgot
Okay.
to ask it yesterday. Is
Okay.
that what the Rogue One was about? Like, was
It's
It's the
that
actually
Death
about the
Star.
Death
the
Star.
Death Star?
The
Yes.
creation of the
Okay.
stuff, Death Star.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
first project name that came with Project Stardust, because it's so you can never guess what that is.
Did they say that in A New Hope?
No.
No.
Thought it was
No.
referenced in
No,
Rogue
but
One, wasn't it?
that's because it was only in Rogue One because the guy
Yeah.
who designed the Death Star, that was the nickname he had for his daughter or some shit like that. So
Stardust.
Stardust.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, Stardust.
so that was the
So
name
that was
Yeah.
Rogue
behind the
One.
scenes. Yeah.
Yet
Okay.
another
So-
daddy
Yeah.
issue woven into Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what
issues.
I
Then
thought.
Yet
they
another.
get you in a strip
Everybody
club
got
in the
daddy issues,
sky.
and that's a great
They
point.
get you in a strip club in
Luke
the
and
sky known as the
Leia,
Death
Yeah.
then
Star.
We're
so
moving on.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Ray,
You
her
know?
both her
You know,
parents.
Luke had
And
Luke
then
had to take a jet onto the main stage and fly it into the backstage and
We're
blow it
talking
up.
about Tales of the Empire. We're not talking about those. So we're going to talk about it. So, Courtney,
Okay.
for this step,
Sorry,
we
Randy.
have,
I'm sorry.
we have an
Sorry,
ensemble cast. You're fine.
sorry.
You're fine. We have an ensemble cast here of voice
Brady
acting.
did that.
How do you think that the voice acting was for this season? Miss Courtney.
Oh,
Okay,
it
I
was
was like,
for
who
me.
you asking?
Courtney.
I know. I
said
was
Courtney.
like, oh, did you? I'm sorry, it broke up.
We didn't
I
hear
couldn't
you because your
you.
microphone is breaking up for some
Okay.
reason.
Is it breaking up? Okay.
I thought the voice cast was pretty solid because it sounded like, and I didn't look this up, but it sounded like the same actress who played Barriss Offee in the Clone Wars, and it was also the actress I believe that played Morgan Elsbeth in Ahsoka. So they were both fantastic because a lot of times, as we've discussed in previous shows, people who are live action actors primarily don't always
Not
have the
always.
same strength as animated. And I thought everybody showed up and came hard. I especially really enjoyed Barriss Offee. Maybe I have a little special place in my heart just because, like, I didn't think her story was told well enough in the Clone Wars. I didn't think it was her transition to turning on the Jedi was earned completely because we didn't really know what and why. And to an extent, we still don't know why she turned, but other than like the basics. But I mean, like what at least I don't remember. So chat, please help me out if I'm misremembering. But in this version, I enjoyed the trajectory and the arc of where she went, getting to see her actually join and become an Inquisitor Yeah, and I thought Morgan's storyline it gave it gave introduction into the other side of the mountain, because I didn't know there were good
I'd never heard
witches
of that
on the
either.
dark on
Yeah.
Dathomir. You know what I mean? I didn't know there were other clans or tribes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
That
like
was actually cool. I didn't know that.
there are like 7, 8 branches of the witches, I think. They're like 8 or 9. It's
Mm.
on Wikipedia. There's a lot of types of witches. And they actually feuded with each other. And they decided
I
to
can see
separate.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So where are they then? Because they survived. Or at least
Kind
we
of,
thought
sort
they
of.
did. I just
Because Bendu's tribe survives, and they have wizards and warlocks and witches, and he's one of the
okay,
ones that brought all people together. And he
okay.
took everybody off planet. Made everybody disappear. People care to forget that. In Star Wars Rebels, he goes, "I'm out of here," and he takes off.
Yeah, he does. I remember that.
He takes
Okay.
his people with him. He takes his people with him.
Yeah, because he doesn't get into the whole Sith
Yeah,
and
he doesn't
Jedi
understand it.
conflict.
He
He's
doesn't
like,
understand it.
eh,
It doesn't
it's
hit
all
Same.
him
the
yet.
Force, people. It's all the Force.
Yep. And if you practice hard enough, you can do force push somebody into a starship for the first try.
No,
The little
don't
engine
go
that
backwards.
came. The
No,
little
let's
engine
just
that came.
stay forward on this show. You can
Okay.
jump back, Chuck. You can
Okay.
jump back at the towards the last 20 minutes of this show. Let's get through this show.
We're trying. We're trying. I'm sorry.
We are,
We,
I'm
we
sorry.
got
but
we got
everybody's not.
we got 6 episodes, and they're about 15-minute runtime. So for this sort of short
Rakai's
anthology,
face.
what do you think about the writing? Were they able to execute a coherent story with the short amount of time that they were given, in your opinion?
No.
And why?
Uh, no, I was gonna explain, dude.
Uh,
I thought the Tales of the Jedi was so excellent, and it wasn't just because well, Ahsoka is my favorite character. But I thought what they gave us with Count Dooku was amazing. Um, so giving us Morgan Elsbeth, where it's Tales of the Empire, but the Empire's not even around anymore. The Empire has been kind of defeated. So you got Thrawn and remnants of the Empire before they switch over to the First Order or whatever. And we already know what happens with Morgan. It's just like I thought that the Mountain Clan, I thought they were cool. I thought the first episode with Grievous, I thought that was a good episode. I thought that was solid. But the next 2 episodes, nah, miss me. I didn't care. I didn't,
Was it the
I didn't
time
get
jump?
anything out
Did
of
the time
Morgan's.
jumps bother you?
No, it wasn't really the time jumps. No, because I'm kind of used to that. It's just, I no longer cared about Morgan Elsbeth's character. She wanted revenge. You know, she sent her proposal to the Empire. They said, nah, we good. You know, Thrawn comes to find her, and we find out how she comes in the employ of Thrawn. So what? She fights one little dude, this assassin who, and now it's like the Matrix. You never know someone until you fight them or whatever. We was stop it. What are we doing there? Like,
so it
you
did
know,
nothing for
Wait,
you.
did they
no,
say that? We
that
never
Morgan
know somebody
Elsbeth
until we fight someone? I
in the
don't know that
Matrix,
line.
yeah,
Well, in the Matrix,
when
but I mean in this movie.
Morgan
Did they
Elsbeth
say-
said it
no, but that's
Oh,
what
did
no,
she?
but
to
the
Thrawn.
little
That's
dude
what the guy said. He
brought
said,
Thrawn
Yeah.
to
yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
wanted
he
to
said we
Pelion?
test
were
you. Yeah, we
Pelion.
wanted to test
when
you.
he brought Thrawn to her, he said, "Yeah, we had to test you. We had to see, you know, what you was about." So, same shit.
You
So,
about that life.
and then I'm not completely upset with it. But I think it was a missed opportunity. I don't think that we got enough. I don't know if it's just the 3 episodes, the 45 minutes, or whatever it was, a runtime to flesh out what was Barris Offee's story. I don't. I
Well,
don't. We still didn't get. If anything, give us like how you showed us Morgan Elsbeth when she was a kid and that whole thing or whatever when she was young or with the whole thing. Show us that with Barris Alfie. What was her motivation? She tried to blow up the damn Jedi Temple and then blame the whole shit on Ahsoka. Like, why was she off her rocker? Like, what? Because you start the episode with her in prison when Order 66 is going down. You know, girl, you better be glad you're not a Jedi anymore because we'd have got your ass too. Like, what? And then she's an inquisitor for 3 days and two half mornings or whatever. And she, now the Jedi didn't kick me out. I try to blow them out because they're evil. But now I don't feel this is right. Now I'm gonna be a Jedi again. And now I'm gonna go be a healer in the mountains and wait for you to stab me with a
Wow.
lightsaber or whatever. I mean,
Lord.
Sabine
Tell us what
healed
you
from
really
this shit.
think,
Why
Rakai.
get the
Tell
you
us
I
know
what you
feel
what?
really
like this
think,
is his
Okay.
Rakai.
counseling session right now. He's letting it all. He's letting it all
Wait,
come out.
wait.
I
Okay,
gotta remember
wait.
my
I
pressure
don't
points.
think she
Woosah.
ever
Woosah.
I don't think she
Woosah.
went back to being a Jedi. I think that Rey is the one that started this whole healing folks in episode 8 or whatever that
Oh,
was when she healed the
that
little monster.
garbage. Like, ooh.
So, she didn't go back because I feel like she didn't change her feelings in what she thought the problems were of the Jedi were, which got them killed. Because at the end of the day, she did lose faith in the Jedi. But I think what she didn't lose faith in was her moral code to kill innocents. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Like,
She
there's
blew up
one
a
thing.
temple.
she tried to
Of
blow up the
Jedi.
She
temple
force
and then
Of
choked that
blinded.
dude.
Jedi.
She said blew up a temple. You can't kill
I'm not saying it's right.
people, but
Listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm talking about from a writing perspective what I think the trajectory. I agree with you in terms of like I would have liked to have seen because the episodes we got with Barris Offee in the Clone Wars were her and Ahsoka when they were trapped in that little like side of the mountain or like cliff and they were stuck in that like vehicle trying to get out and her master was Luminara was her master and you know what I mean was trying to save her and she was ready to give up on her and Ahsoka and Anakin's like no okay so then the next time we see her we saw her like one other time and then the next time we see her she's in the temple and she's discouraged and I do believe that Ahsoka getting charged was an accident and Barris just didn't correct it. She was like I'm still trying I still got a mission even though she liked Ahsoka but I would have liked that, what you just said before. What was her descent? What was the straw that broke the camel's back that had her turn against the light side? Or maybe not even the light side, the Jedi. I think she turned against the Jedi.
She kind of explains that. She says that the Jedi were violent and they became generals. And they're never supposed to be generals. They're supposed to be like a priest class that stepped out to represent the Republic blindly. Like they
which is a valid, yes, a
Which is a
valid
valid
reason.
point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point, and she's right. They went from peacekeepers to
to warlords.
Soldiers.
Yeah, she's not the only
and
one that shared that opinion too. It's
Correct.
discussed. It's a theme throughout.
Yeah,
Clone
I think
Wars and the
Ahsoka even
Republic
said
War.
that.
Yeah.
how many of them said, you know what? I'm so disillusioned with them. I'm gonna blow up the whole Jedi Temple. Like, what? You went from I'm disillusioned with them to now I'm a terrorist for.
Yeah.
That's like it's almost like the way she backslid in this is like, you know what? I'm on the light side. I'm not a Jedi. I don't fool with y'all, but now I'm on the light side of the Force again. I have seen the errors of my ways.
But here's the thing.
That's almost like
let
Anakin
Daylight
goes
jump
in,
here.
kills all the younglings, and like, you know
Dayla.
what?
For sure.
I didn't
All
even
right.
ignite my
Rakai.
lightsaber right
I
there.
hear what you're saying, Rakai, and here's what I will say. Two things happened for me when I watched and rewatched Tales of the Empire. One, I understand now all these moments where people are like, it's supposed to be Luke's the only Jedi left, and now there's all these new Jedis around, and it really made me think about the terror campaign and the messaging campaign that the Empire went on and that the Inquisitors went on that we got to see in these episodes about the Jedi are evil. And just like in a generation, they were able to wipe out any good memories of the Jedi. And so of course people are in hiding. So of course that Luke is not the only Jedi. I also think there's like white manness wrapped up in all of the white men who are upset that all of a sudden now there's all these Jedis. But I do think it helped me understand the context of, okay, this is how people forgot about the Jedi. This is how Jedis, and then that, you know, at the end of this, in that moment with Barriss, I feel like what we saw was, you're right, we did not get the Barriss descent into her dark sideness. What I saw was once she got there, she realized, she says in the episode, I was so angry, I was so mad, like it helped me understand why she saw how she had gone down a dark path, and then she found the end of her path for herself. And after she force choked her friend and got on the Inquisitor squad, it was really interesting for me to watch her try to befriend the other sister who, you know, is named Lynn, and that journey. And so it also helped me realize I really liked that I got to see like that it wasn't just two stories about different people's descent into evil. And that I feel like my struggle in liking Star Wars sometimes is that I want to root for people, but you know, I have my own optimism, I have my own goodness code. And so how do I feel about rooting for people on the dark side? Because in my world, you know, so I don't know if I'm making sense, but it was interesting to me to watch her struggle with, am I really gonna stay an Inquisitor? And I thought I didn't know if she became an Inquisitor in a way we didn't see in Rebels. I recognize the first brother who walked through the door, and I know that the second brother who walked through the door is that same guy Merrick who was in live action
And
Ahsoka,
Lynn,
who became
and
the
Lynn,
green.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's the
Lynn was
first.
in live action.
Yeah, he's the
So
first one. He's the lead
yeah,
Inquisitor.
Wait,
I
Lynn was
just
in live action what?
Obi-Wan.
no,
Hmm.
Lynn was in live action Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
Inquisitor, the
Yeah.
bald dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
No,
Lynn
Lynn is
that
the
was running
woman.
around with
woman.
Barriss.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That I don't
she was in
recall. Okay,
Obi-Wan.
okay,
Yeah.
I
okay.
don't remember that.
I don't remember her.
So
Yeah.
I'll just say
It was real quick.
yeah, I appreciated being able to see, and like for Morgan, I mean, first of all, I'm really excited to finally see like a Filipino American actor be in this universe in a significant way. It was dope to see Diana Lee Inosanto, who plays Morgan Elsbeth in live action. According to
Well,
Wikipedia, she is the voice there.
yeah.
I
Well,
liked that we
here's the
got to
thing.
see that journey. So
And well, we talked about it during Ahsoka or whatever when she was on
mhm.
whatever the other episodes that we
Mhm.
Oh, I don't know
she's
if we got cut off.
she's
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Diana Lee Inosanto. She is Bruce Lee's goddaughter. So
Mhm.
I'm a huge fan of her and her father, Dan. Um, uh, I hear everything you're saying, but I think for 3 episodes at 12 to 15 minutes apiece, I didn't get enough story to lead. I felt like there were huge leaps that were taken where some more story should have been told in. Because, I mean, she goes from choke, I let in the darkness, I choke I force choke my little buddy, I become an inquisitor. Was that
But
her
she didn't have
first
a
mission?
choice with that, right?
Exactly. I
She
was
didn't
just
have a
was
choice.
that her
I was just
first
about
mission?
that was
Was that
self-defense.
her 50th
Yeah.
mission? Like how many had she been on? Because it seemed like that's her first mission to me. I don't know, but
And then she watched
Exactly.
Lynn
how many
kill
missions
the
has she been on with
village.
Lynn where she
Yeah. So yeah.
she wild out and she let the little
Well,
boy where she thought
okay.
Lynn was gonna kill her, but it still seemed like a leap. You let in the darkness, you went dark, and I don't know.
Hold
It just
on.
still seemed like a leap. I would like a little bit more storytelling.
Okay. So I will say having just okay, so like a week ago, I literally just finished The Dark Disciple, and Asajj Ventress gave a very clear definition of what it was to accept the dark side and to transition to the dark side. Not only transition, but also find your way out of the dark side.
Yeah.
Like there was a huge discussion between her and Quinlan Voss, and she was explaining how difficult it was to pull yourself out, but that you could do it. So I think when Barris, whatever caused her trigger to turn and want to blow up the temple, to be actually on the dark side, to actually join the Empire is one thing. You know, or to be angry enough to like have your own mission for your own cause, for your own reason is one thing. To join the Empire and watch them murdering people, murking people, even to the point when she was training, like you said, when she force choked her little friend, she didn't want to do it. She literally told him, "We don't have to do this."
Right. And he was
We
like,
don't
bullshit, we
have to
don't.
do
One
this.
of us got to
And he
live.
was like, "One of us got to go." Like
Yeah.
they killed old dude. You know, he tried to leave
Well,
and
they
they
told
like
him.
killed
They told
him.
him when they jumped in there. They said
let me
either
finish.
one of you gonna kill her, or both y'all gonna die.
Let me finish. He did say that. But she also said, we don't have to do this. She was trying to find a way, whether or not they died together or whether or not they've teamed up and tried to find a way out. It was not her choice to force choke him, but she did it to save her life.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she
you
tried,
can't fault
and
anybody for
you
that.
can't fault anybody for
Yeah.
choosing to live. And at that point, then when she is joining the dark side, I even think she was trying to become friendly with Lynn. She was trying to figure out, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, why are what? Okay, I can buy. You know, like she's looking at the helmet, looking at, is this who I want to be? Okay, let me try it on. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and try this path. But to get in the village and you personally go to this child and say, you can trust me. I gave this child my word. If he told me the truth, we would go after the Jedi. And you lanced the entire village, not just the man who lied to you, the entire village. They didn't even say anything. That's a departure from her personal moral code, in my opinion.
And a Jedi moral code too. And it's a transition period from Jedi to the dark side. We didn't get to see it in screen with like Vader, but Vader had to go through trials that the Emperor put him through to say, are you really in
Are you
with
really
me?
in on this? Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them is corrupting the kyber crystal in a lightsaber, right? It's a very difficult and arduous process that requires literally blood, sweat, and tears. So it doesn't just happen as quick, like, oh, I decided I'm gonna jump into the Empire and I'm gonna be all in evil. So I can see that sort of dichotomy that she had with her. And like Courtney said, it was breaking her moral code. Like it's one thing to get revenge on people who you feel has done you wrong. It's another thing to look and see somebody murder a whole village of innocent people or a whole tavern of innocent people. It could mess with you. At least that's how I look at it.
And even then, when she told the Jedi, she had the Jedi. She didn't even turn her back on the dark side at that point. When they got up the mountain and she told the Jedi, if you surrender, then, you know, we can figure this out. And the woman, the person, they were about to surrender. And old girl came for them. Like, legitimately.
Which is
the second time. The second time you made a fool of me. You literally made a fool of me. I gave my word twice and you done fucked me up. What you doing? Seriously.
I agree with Lynn in that. Like, hey, he alive. That's a liability.
I'm not. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. But Barris had a problem with it.
Yeah, she had.
And that's why they went. That's why they went.
Yeah,
you know.
right. I agree. I completely agree with you, Courtney. Yeah. Now, the Empire, the right thing, she was probably trained to kill everybody because that is the thing. Palpatine would have had everybody in that little boy killed. He'd have had every single body.
Well, that was her point at the end.
Yeah.
When they were in the cave. Although I will say, Barris didn't age too well because Lynn still looked great. I don't know if that was the dark side moisturizer she was like working with, but like, I mean,
that's outdoor
living.
That's outdoor living.
What happened?
That's a life on the run.
She got that back to all
a life on the run.
She got the same thing
Barris
Dick
had
Cheney
had. But that dark side moisturizer did Lynn right.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, like at the end, I did think it was a really cool because the one thing that what's her name? Asajj would say is that when you find your truth, like the one thing that Asajj found at the end of The Dark Disciple was understanding your role in the Force. And I felt like Barris did that. She wasn't a Jedi. She was kind of like Ahsoka. I am no Jedi. But she found her role. And I thought it was really cool to watch her, you know, talk about in the beginning, she was so angry. And you talk about how anger is the path to the dark side. And well, that's why she couldn't defeat the dude, because he was rooted in who he was. He was rooted in his rage and the dark side, and they were one, right? And so she was battling him and so angry coming at him and couldn't do anything. But yet at the end, we see her in her last episode and she mirrored him. She mirrored every single movement. She didn't need a lightsaber at that point. She could have taken Lynn, but she was still trying. She didn't want to, you know?
So let's think we talked about her enough. Let's talk about what's her name? The other star. Was it not Beerus? What's her name?
Morgan Elsbeth.
Morgan.
Elsbeth.
Yeah, let's start with you, Dayla. What did you think of her and her arc throughout this story or this narrative?
I mean, I definitely appreciated the way it filled in blanks for Mandalorian season 2 when we first met her, and understanding, oh, this is how you came to power in this village. This is why you're the magistrate. I also agree with Rakai. I really liked the first episode. It's scary. Actually, at one point I got a little bit scared because I wasn't prepared for all the fire and the and Grievous. I mean, yeah, Grievous showing up and just being evil and all. I just found myself witnessing the witches of Dathomir being annihilated, and just how we don't get a lot of just that it's women and they were just just all of the huntedness, and just really, I think really starting to understand the way in which the Empire just wipes everybody out. I do also really appreciate that, they kind of made her go through this presentation, but I feel like we're starting to see the detail, like in the televised and the movie parts of Star Wars, like not having to go to the books to be able to see this is the way the Empire is evil. Like, they don't really give a crap about your technology. They just want to know where the next planets are so that they can steal the resources and steal the nature. And for him to be like, go back to your planet and prepare for us to arrive so we can take what is ours, just really resonated at a like metaphorical colonial. I was like, that's how imperial people think in this world. Like, they
that
think
was Mitch
they
McConnell.
own everything. Exactly. And to some of the world events that are happening right now, we're allowed to squash out a rebellion because we need to be powerful and we need to be strong and everyone needs to be gone. And so
that's right.
It just hit in a really eerie way, you know?
But I got only thing I'm going to say, the witches aren't good and they're not a part of the rebellion. So did we feel any way about seeing
But my enemy's enemy,
Wait.
enemy is my friend, right?
They were never aligned with the rebellion, though.
Wait a minute. Who said the witches aren't good?
The witches were allied with Palpatine up until the moment he turned on them.
Yeah, and they were out.
The witches are aligned with Palpatine until the moment he kills them, because he sees them as a viable threat. They are working with him
Mother
there.
Towson. However, again, you got Grievous and all that, and they're about to take over the planet. You cut a deal.
Well, here's the thing. The reason for me, I thought it was a really interesting narrative because we saw the other side of it. We saw it from Dooku is the one that took out the witches of Dathomir because he was looking for Asajj. Because Palpatine ordered him to kill Asajj. And when he found out that she was still alive, that's when he went there looking for her. So in order to like destroy that, and they just happened, they just came down because he was like, I need them all to be gone. I need to find Asajj. I need it to be done.
That's not how I remember that. I remember him specifically giving the order to take them out.
No,
remember Mother Towson.
Positive of that.
Well, Mother Towson gave Asajj the power, the extra what she needed to go take Dooku out.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
No. Go ahead. It didn't work. And so like when it didn't work, that's when she went back and she got Savage. And when she took Savage, that's when Palpatine discovered, because Asajj and Palpatine had a whole battle. And because he was like, yo, you taking a princess? You taking her? And so he was like, no,
No, she's an assassin.
No, I didn't. She's an assassin. I'm
She's
not.
my
No, she's
assassin.
not my assassin. Then you need to end her.
Kill
You
her.
need to
Yep.
end her and end all of them.
Yep.
Because you can't have. Don't come in here with no little assassin again. And that's when Dooku went to Dathomir and like, or he sent Grievous to Dathomir and like destroyed it all. So for me to see it from this narrative, from the narrative of a young witch of Dathomir, that was really powerful because we get to see like what was happening on
Grievous
the
is
other side.
doing.
Because we saw the side for them coming for the witches. To see the witches in there and like to see her mom was a badass. Her mom was dope. The one thing I don't remember, did she get that Beskar spear in that secret room when she and the little girls went back?
Yes.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I
she
bet
came
you-
out. She came out with the
Came out with the
That's right.
things
The two-
that her mom
uh,
had.
Yeah.
The
sight.
Wikipedia says
the-
they bathed in dark energy. These
They
dark
do.
side users, they are not good at all.
They're not.
And
They're
the
not.
thing
They
No,
with-
are.
the
They
thing
are
with
part of
let
the
me
dark
finish,
side.
guys. Let me finish. The thing with the whole Asajj Ventress, she was just a potential rival. And in Palpatine's mind, he sees any strength as a potential rival. So he's coming to Dooku, tell him, so this must be your apprentice. And Dooku's like, no, I don't want that type of smoke. If she's not your apprentice, go kill her.
Go kill her.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it had nothing to do with like, it has to do with them.
No, we
they
didn't
are
care about
evil.
them
They're
being
like,
light. No.
No,
They're
we
became
dark
never
side
said they were
users.
light. We never said they were light.
Well, I mean, I will say not
Light
remembering
doesn't
all
mean
of
you're
that.
good neither. Light doesn't
Right,
mean you're good.
right.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're good.
Yeah.
Like they were definitely dark. They dabbled and they
And-
were
but
a
dark-
part of the
but-
dark side. But
being
the
a part of the
reason that
dark
they were
doesn't
killed
automatically mean they're
was because
bad. They
Palpatine
wasn't.
ordered
that
it.
is exactly what it means. Being a part of the dark side means we're bad.
No, it doesn't.
Who is good
else-
that's on the dark
who-
side?
Who else have you seen them at war with and doing shit to?
Everything. They kill the Empire kills everything.
No,
that
I'm not talking
opposes
about the
them.
Empire. I'm talking about the witches of Dathomir.
They were aligned with helping Palpatine to take over.
I don't remember that mentioned.
They were.
No, that's
They were.
that's
They were
this-
Palpatine's allies.
This is what's said in Wikipedia. The light side is not inherently good, nor is the dark side inherently evil. The
That's
dark
my
side,
point.
also
Right.
known as Bogan,
Bingo bango.
associated with passion, ambition, death, and doing whatever it takes to succeed.
Yeah.
I'm
Negative
saying
emotions like
the
anger
only
and
thing that we
stuff
know
fuel the dark
right now
side.
is that they had
Mhm.
conflict with the other clans on their own planet, and they was, you stay over there, we stay over here. We over here in the swamp with our little zombie creatures in their pods, and y'all up on the mountain. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You stay over there, we stay over here. That's
Yeah.
now they
when,
practice the dark side or whatever. They the dark magics. That's not even really the force. That's magic. That's something.
I didn't say it was.
else.
Right.
It's
and
all
even
over.
when
It's
Mother
all-
Mother Townsend, when that episode when Mace Windu went to take her down, she was trying to get her sisters back. Right?
Mhm.
Wasn't she trying? Because she had been like kind of like wiped out. So she was A, trying to get a whole body, and B, trying to bring back her people. So I'm not saying that she's not dark. I 100% agree that she practices dark magics. But at the same time, watching it from Morgan's perspective was what I was trying to say was interesting, having seen it from the other side, having seen the attack ordered and having seen it gone down, and then heard Asajj's narrative when she went back and everyone was dead. Like there was no one there. At that point, that tells me Morgan had already moved on. You know what I mean? Morgan had left because she wasn't there when Asajj came back.
Well, I will
So-
say I do appreciate seeing how Morgan and Thrawn met each other, because during live action Ahsoka, I didn't understand why Morgan was so on Thrawn's jock.
Yeah.
Like I just was like,
agree.
what
That
is
was a good
that?
point.
Agree.
What is
Agreed.
that? So to be like, oh, this is the origin of your relationship. And then it also makes sense to me because of these 3 episodes, why she says, she has that moment when Thrawn's like, someone's got to stay behind. and like make sure Ahsoka and them don't run up on us, because one Jedi can cause a lot of trouble, I know. And he's like, for the Empire. And as he walks away, she says, for Dathomir. So I appreciated this as an opportunity to understand more how she got to where she was in that town. And I feel like what's been unraveling a lot in a lot of these live action and these animated shows is just, oh, this is how the Empire takes over. This is how they're evil, just like what we learned in Andor. So I feel like when we got to New Hope and 4th through 6 movies, it was a lot, all of that stuff had already happened. Even though we were seeing it, I didn't feel like I was watching the takeover of the Empire. I thought I was living in an established Empire world. So here in this series, the Tales of the Empire, I was like, oh, this is how the Empire gets its power, because people be backstabbing each other. The witches of Dathomir were like, I get that they were, you're right. I realize they are evil. But in that moment, I was like, Grievous just killed your whole clan. You're going to go and rejoin the Empire? Like, why don't you go with the mountain aunties and like, she
that
got
part.
magic.
Yeah.
That
But
part.
they left her, right?
But that's
Well,
what I didn't understand about.
That lady's daughter killed. Like, I don't even know if she actually died, but she looked like she died.
She died, yeah. And that's what I didn't understand about Morgan Elsbeth, because she left there looking for revenge on the Empire. Grievous was in the Empire.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she's a temp. She's, pitching them an idea or whatever, because pretty much she's
he called her
she's an intern. Yeah.
The interim town mayor.
Yeah, like she has used her power and her influence to take over a lot of little spots in the outer rim or whatever. She told the Empire about him, hey, I got this great idea. Here's my pitch. And they was like, yeah, we're not feeling that. We just gonna come take the shit over. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for letting us know about it. We on our way. The whole thing, even when Thrawn rolled up on her, I see why she was devoted to Thrawn, because he was the only guy that believed in her. Girl, I see something in you. You got spunk. I don't know what it is, but you got something, okay. But what happened to, I want revenge on the Empire? Like,
but here's my take on it. At that point, Grievous is already dead. Dooku is already dead. So it's not like the people she wanted revenge on are dead. So in her mind, I don't even necessarily think she associated Grievous's attack with the Empire, because at that point he was a separatist. At that point, he was a separatist. You know what I mean? And so he wasn't. He was. He was a separatist. Dooku was a separatist. So he wasn't the Empire. So for her to come, like, she's just looking to gain power because she doesn't want to be weak again. She doesn't ever want to be in this place of like where anybody can come and take what's mine and kill my people. Even though I don't like these people, they're not my people.
And the Empire ended the war. In her mind, she might see that. The Empire ended the war. Yep. So I will go join the people who ended the war, who killed all of my people. So
exactly.
I see that. I see that perspective.
Yes.
The enemy of my enemy is
my enemy is my friend. Yep. Exactly. Yep. So and another thing I appreciated about that episode too, like I agree with Dayla, like seeing how she and Thrawn like became the pair, like that she was devoted to this person, but also to see the guy who was the assassin that she ended up battling. It wasn't so much for me that she battled like one dude. It was that dude. That is the guy that is the reason we lost Kanan Jarrus. That's the guy that was sent in Rebels. That's the guy that nobody knew what he was. Yes, nobody knew what he was. And to see this dude and to see her actually get the best of him, I'm sorry, that made me real happy. That that dude might get lit up. You know?
That was a good call.
Necromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's a necromancer.
Yep. And that was a good callback. That was effectively used in the series, unlike whatchamacallit, where they were just giving us call, unlike the Bad Batch.
Giving like the Bad Batch, giving us the Zillow beats just cause. You know what I mean? Like this is the dude who's still in employ. You know what I mean? Who actually not still in employ. This is probably his beginning, because if you think about it, like by the time he gets to Rebels, like Kanan is still like, we don't know where he is in his journey, but he might be a young man just becoming. He's no longer Caleb, now he's Kanan. So like
Mhm.
this might be a dude, he might be on his way to go hunt Kanan from this point on. So
For
there
sure.
were
Is
a lot of connections that I made up. And maybe
Mhm.
I was excited to connect these pieces, but that moment, and also to see that little rebel, the last episode, when that little senator came in, was like, there's gonna be hope. I was like, oh girl, you dead. Rolling in here with like 6
I was
dudes.
like, you better have a Jedi or
Like you got
something
your
or
little
something.
cute dress on. You know, you need to put on the
Yeah.
you need to put on the best fit,
Oh,
right?
when she
And
parked
you
her ship
like
outside, I said, "Oh, she's so
she
dead.
was like,
She's so
she was like,
dead."
things are different now.
Mhm.
We won the war. I just want to let you
Yeah.
know that
I
like it's gonna
represent the
be
New Republic.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
don't
She
worry
had it on
about it. Maybe
what you call it,
Morgan's
had it on.
changed too. Like, I mean, I know she's done terrible things, but we're gonna give her a chance. Like,
But she had it
what?
on lock. Like, what you call it? They didn't even know the war was over.
They didn't even know the war was
Yeah.
over. But I love that these are
Yeah.
the same characters that we saw in that episode
Mhm.
in
Hey,
both. I don't even know what series it was. Was it Boba Fett? Was it Mandalorian? I don't
no,
know.
Mandalorian.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
great. So
Mhm.
when we
She,
saw that, that was the same little dude, same little
Mhm.
dude that was
Uh-huh.
yeah,
like
Guy who
the
came
that,
out of the side of the thing.
right.
That
yeah,
was
That
that
was
chick came in there.
Mhm.
That little chick. She's an ambassador for the New Republic. She came and was like, "Hey,
Mhm.
the war is over. Y'all don't have to be slaves no more. Here's your freedom papers." And they was
yeah.
like,
That was
"You,
like
you,
Texas
They
on
didn't
you,
have their
you
Juneteenth.
better get
Juneteenth
out of
day.
here.
They didn't have their
Massa mad
Juneteenth
now.
day.
Massa mad. You better get out of here."
Like, I
And
don't think
that's
Look,
that's
they
a good
did too.
idea. You should have stuck
They
with
did.
that. She should have
listen.
came with like an entire army, and even then, I don't know if she would have succeeded.
She wouldn't have
But when
succeeded.
Nah.
No.
made it to the little ship, and those dudes put the bombs on her ship, she didn't even see the bombs on the ship. I was like, oh girl.
Mhm.
I just kind of,
And I think that was a nice little callback too,
it
because when
was.
the droid, calling for help, that's how Ahsoka ended up on that damn planet. So
Yep.
Mhm.
That's how
so
Ahsoka entered the
that was
planet, and
nice.
Bo-Katan answered the call because
For
Yeah.
Bo
sure.
is the one that told Mando where to find Ahsoka.
Mhm.
So I thought that was a
Here's
really good callback.
The
here's the
dude.
thing.
Uh,
I think I think for me, even though I didn't care as much about Morgan Elsbeth's character anymore, the story that they told in her 3 episodes was so much better to me than what they did with Barris Offee. I like Barris Offee. I wanted to needed some more explanation. I need some more clarification. I needed some more story. I think it could have been done if they made a few different choices and told it in a little bit different way, maybe add another episode or something. I think Barris's story could have been amazing, and I think it was lacking. I think it was some missed opportunities in her story to tell a better story, and we had to make certain leaps of faith in her story to see this redemption arc with her, where
I
Morgan wasn't no redemption arc. It was what it was, you know what I'm saying? And they told a great story. You gave us, the back story. You gave us her motivation. You gave us how she hooked up with Thrawn. You gave us how she put an iron fist on the little peoples. And then, next thing we know, Ahsoka shows up. It led right into that. Good. I'm cool with that. I just don't care about her character as much anymore. I
Yeah.
I like Barris. I wanted to see more, and I feel unfulfilled there.
I disagree with you on that. I didn't need Barris Offee's story. I'd rather for her to be killed in them damn jails with the Jedi, because she was a Jedi, and I was hoping that the clones went in there and killed her ass, because what she did to my girl Ahsoka is unacceptable. You blame Ahsoka. You blamed Ahsoka for killing a senator, and my
Yeah,
girl
but
had to go
because of
running,
that, that's why
and you
I
put
need
the
to see
chain of
more. What the
events.
hell?
You put the chain of events that
Taylor,
made
we
Anakin go crazy and kill all them little
uh,
babies. It was
Mhm.
your fault.
It
It
was
was
Barris's
your fault.
offie that he became Darth Vader.
hold on, let me,
Yep,
Mhm.
it's
Dana,
Barris
I think
Offee.
that you had a
So
point.
I
Hold on,
needed
y'all.
her to die
Jayla.
in the cells. Them saying, you lucky you're not a Jedi no more. Nah,
Mhm.
she a
That,
Jedi that betrayed the Jedi. Kill her ass
Mhm.
first. Matter of fact, y'all go to
Mhm.
the cell and be the first one to kill. Matter of fact, it would have been great if Anakin went down there and killed her first. Then go
Mhm.
kill the babies. Warmed his
Taylor, I feel
lightsaber
like
with
you've
her
been trying to
flesh.
jump in here for a minute. Go ahead,
Sorry,
Taylor.
Taylor. Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
enjoying all the things. I was gonna go back to when Morgan fought Rook. Is that his name? The dude on the tower.
Uh-huh.
That's the
Yeah.
same guy who was hunting Zeb in Rebels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So just
Mhm.
really appreciate that. Yeah, I think I felt a certain degree of. I mean, I do still want to see, because Barris says at the end of her episode, "Oh, send the baby to a friend," and I was like, "Is the
Yeah.
friend Ahsoka? And how did y'all make up? Like that could have been." I feel like that doesn't fit into the Tales of the Empire story, but I'm curious, do we ever get to hear about that? And so, yeah. So I was resonating on Rook and just all these connections that I feel like you do kind of have to watch all the different pieces to put together. Like now I feel like we could do a super cut of like, let's pull all the Witches of Dathomir episodes from Clone Wars and from, from Tales of Empire and from Ahsoka live action. Like then I could understand. Then I would be able to see the
A
story.
complete picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But yeah.
I will say, Chuck, you said something that I thought when I saw Darth Vader walk into the room and see Barris, I thought for sure I would have I would have enjoyed seeing him slay her. Not because I don't love Barris, because I actually really do. I enjoyed her story. I do disagree that you said you didn't need her story and she could have died in the cells.
She could have died.
The only death that I thought would have justified is if Vader would have killed her. Because not necessarily because of Ahsoka, because in his mind, Anakin is dead.
Yeah.
But because she irritated him. Right? Because she made me work for some shit. And I'm annoyed. The fact that you're still here. You know, like that to me, like he should have at least force choked her. Like something. But I do think that her redemption arc was something that, especially given the fact that most of the Jedis are done at this time. And I don't think she's a Jedi. I think she's on that Ahsoka path. I think she's like balanced in the Force, but I don't think she's a Jedi.
Barris the Great.
I disagree. I disagree in the sense of like,
but
did we need that story? Like, was it? I don't know. I like the story.
Those clones with that chip in their head, when they turned, she was led to the cells. They don't know she's not a Jedi. She can't say, "Hey, don't kill me. You killed all my ex-friends that locked me up."
But they didn't register her as a Jedi. They didn't register her as a Jedi because it didn't say Force user. It said Jedi. Order 66 said Jedi. She turned against the Jedi. She was arrested and sent to the prisons.
Nobody knows,
they
but
still
they
tried
didn't-
to kill
but they-
Ahsoka, and
but
they
they
knew.
Well,
killed her too.
Ahsoka was still on a mission. She was still working with and
She
for
wasn't
the
a
Jedi.
Jedi, though.
She
Wasn't a Jedi. She wasn't
in front
a
of
Jedi,
the clones.
but
She denounced the Jedi. Barris
That's
never
true.
denounced the Jedi.
well,
She
she
was
kind of
locked
did
up.
when she tried to blow up the temple.
That's not a formal
That's not a formal
denunciation.
denouncing.
She
Yeah.
formally
Ahsoka
told
said,
them that she
"I'm
was
no
like
Jedi."
she was done. She formally was like, "Fuck y'all."
No, Ahsoka sat there in front of all the clones and said, "I am
Yeah.
not a Jedi," and they were all saddened by it. But when she showed back up, they tried to kill her ass.
I would imagine that
They all
chip
tried
would
to
have
I
kill
triggered
don't
her
know.
them to
I guess
kill
because
her.
maybe because she was their general. They also all had Ahsoka helmets.
She was
They
a general.
painted their
Barris was a
helmets.
general.
No, but they painted their helmets with her like markings. Like that was their commander.
And she said, "Thank you. I'm not one of you no more. I'm not a Jedi. I'm out here
She
just living
did,
my
but they
life."
didn't. That was
Yeah.
like, yo, you still on the team.
Barris
You gotta
is
go.
officially
We
on
don't
the
know.
team.
We don't know. They was confused. They were like, we don't know. You here. So we gotta take you out.
Yeah, I don't think Barris was officially on the team anymore because she was in prison.
I mean, but they didn't run the trial on her.
But
They
you
just
could
locked
have
her up.
you could lock up you could lock up Jedi.
Jedis have
just
been
because
locked
you're
up before.
I
Boss
don't
was
She's
locked
there
up.
in the prison to go through the Inquisitor games so that she can get her spot in American
she's
Idol,
Squid Gaming.
right? Like
Well,
she's
but
trying to.
But that's later. That's later,
Yeah,
though.
That's why
the
she's in
Inquisitor-
jail. That's why she's there.
But the
She's trying to
Inquisitors
win her
only-
spot on Treasure Island or whatever.
Right.
The
yeah,
Inquisitors
she's
only
not
show
fluffy
up to
six.
give her a shot to
She
be
gotta
an
be the last one
Inquisitor.
standing.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
because of Order
yeah.
66, because there are no Jedi anymore. So, you know, we
Mhm.
don't know what kind of punishment or whatever the Jedi would have given her if they'd ever gotten around to it. It was
For
Order
sure.
66.
Right.
So,
Because
Well-
because she hadn't had her trial yet. She
Yeah.
was
She didn't have
awaiting
nothing.
trial.
she had nothing.
So she's a
Order
Jedi.
66 literally
No,
happened like a day
she
or
wasn't
two
a
after she.
Jedi, but
You're a
I think
No,
that
nobody
they
knows
gave her
that.
a choice.
Nobody
Yeah, until
knows
she's
that.
convicted.
Order
She's a
66
Jedi.
happened when Ahsoka left the base. When
Agreed.
she left the
Uh-huh.
Anakin.
Uh-huh.
That's when
No,
Barris
not when
got
she left
locked
the
up.
when she was still in the hangar. Well, according to Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, when she left
According
the
to Tales of the
hangar.
Jedi, when she was in the hangar.
When she left the hangar, Order 66 occurred. So she
Right.
escaped it, narrowly escaped it.
Mhm.
Barris was just locked up right before then, like
Not
10
only-
minutes
not
before
only
then.
Right, but she still
Here's the
had to
other
go
thing,
through
too.
Squid Games. They
No,
had to
here's the-
like bring her out and say, "Yo, this that's like
But-
when old dude, the little dude that went out was like, no, y'all can stay if you want to. I'm going home."
Mhm.
And
Here's-
the Inquisitor
here's
came
the
back
other
and threw
thing.
his
But
hyper
before the
crystal at
Squid
them, like, "Yo,
Games,
he
they
did."
would have killed her and little dude because both of them were
I
Jedi.
think they would have
They would
too.
have killed the
Yeah.
boss.
Hold on, here's-
And
They
Boss was
needed
locked up.
Inquisitors.
They
Mhm.
they officially kicked Ahsoka out. Remember, they had the whole manhunt.
They
and
had a whole
everything.
meeting.
They
They
officially
did.
kicked her out, and they had a whole manhunt when they thought she was guilty. When Anakin caught up to her and
Well,
said,
Barris
"Just go
got
back to
none
me,"
of that.
I'll make sure
Here's
that
the thing.
yeah. So Ahsoka had to go undercover to
They didn't
figure
even
out that
share
it was
that it
really
was
Barris. All they did was
Yeah.
arrest Barris and put her in jail. They hadn't kicked her
They
out of
haven't
the
even announced
Jedi.
that it was
They
her.
hadn't
Yeah,
had
she
a
hadn't been
trial.
kicked out
They
or
Well,
hadn't
anything.
nothing.
she didn't.
He ain't
Here's the
said,
thing:
"I
she
ain't-
didn't have
I
to
ain't
have a
rolling with y'all."
manhunt. They arrested her. Although I do have questions about how come
But-
she stayed in those handcuffs. You mean to tell me she
Mhm.
couldn't have used the Force to like at least get the
Mhm.
handcuffs off? I
There
think
was
she
some
should
of
have.
those
I'm with
those
I had a
some
Daylight.
problem with
X-Men.
that. I had a
Mhm.
problem with that.
Those was made by Trask and them. Those was
Mhm.
X-Men.
They're made of
Sentinel.
vibranium.
They're
They're made of
Vibranium,
vibranium.
for sure, for
Sentinel
sure.
technology.
Oh,
Right.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Hemlock
Mhm.
made those to control the
Mhm.
force powers because it took
Right.
down her M
Mhm.
count.
Oh,
It took her
right.
M
Oh,
count
Yeah.
Lord, here
from
we go.
9,000.
You did say you
down
gave him
to
the last 20
zero.
Because
minutes.
of the
Why?
because of the
That's
I
what
gave him the
happened.
last 20 minutes.
And
You're
matter
right.
of fact, it took her
And he
M
waited.
count
He
and it
held to
gave
it,
it
so I
to
appreciate that.
Sabine
He
in the
did.
future.
He did pretty good. He did
And it
pretty
gave it
good.
to Sabine into the future. That's
Mhm.
exactly what happened. So what happened was Sabine got arrested, and she used the same cuffs, and it had a Barris's M count in it, and it
No.
transferred over
Ooh.
like a bank
Hemlock
balance.
got her.
I'm
Hemlock
cooking.
gave in
I'm
that little
cooking.
shot.
I'm cooking
I
over
see you.
here.
So
And
hold on,
that
get
little
back
Hey,
to
go
shot
ahead.
that
I'm
they gave
listening.
her.
I'm
get back
listening to you.
get back to the ostrich Sade mix. Get back to that. Let's
Nala Shay, you know.
Operator.
Nala
Nala
Shay.
Shay.
We're not-
Now she's Nala Shay. She's not Nala
By
Shay.
your
She's Nala Shay.
side,
Yeah,
we're not
Sade.
gonna- all right,
baby.
We're about to rewrite this thing. We're about to rewrite this thing.
But can I
Come on,
see?
you-
Can I just one more thing?
Go ahead. go
I
ahead,
really want to say that the more I see of the Jedi, the more I am asking the question that Barris asked, like, why are we
Yeah.
the Jedi? Yeah, just seeing the imperfection of the Jedi, and why are either of these systems? Why are we holding up any of these systems? And why are we trying to reify or like reestablish the Jedi Order? I don't understand. Like, I used to feel like I knew why, and now I'm like, I don't
They're
know,
a bunch of
guys.
idiots.
Yeah.
because unfortunately, just like any other religious organization, because that's all the Jedi and the Sith are, they are religious organizations.
Mhm.
Because there's so many
Mm.
other Force users out there that are not a part of those two camps. There's a bunch, the
Right.
Wheels. There's all sorts of other users of the Force that are not Jedi or Sith.
So we should just be Wiccan,
and-
no church.
Well,
Yes.
Or
the
witches
Jedi
Dathomir.
probably Jedi
Or the
had
mountain,
probably
the nice mountain
good-
witches.
Bendu.
good intentions or whatever, but they have such a strict, rigid code where you can't have emotions and you can't do this and can't do that.
Mm.
And eventually somebody gonna make up their own Bible and start making up their own rules and doing their own thing or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna be
Hey.
persecuted for it.
I
and
mean,
then
But
how messed
okay.
up they were.
because I don't understand. I don't, for the life of me, understand how Palpatine was the head of the Sith. He's in your face every day.
Every
He's giving
goddamn
your orders
day. Every
all
goddamn
day.
day.
What
Morning
kind of
briefings, evening briefings, all
He
kind of
could
stuff. And
he
you,
could hide
Wait, wait a
the
minute.
force power.
You
But
just
Because
said
Asajj
like
you
you're
did
just said
say
that
people
Biggie,
can
Asajj.
he
hide
could
their
hide his
darkness.
force power, his M count down to
man,
0.
man,
So he
You
turned his
said
M count
man.
down to
Oh
Asajj
0.
shit! You
Asajj
got
landed on that
Dayla,
planet and
Dayla's showing you how
immediately
you can do it.
Asajj landed on that planet and immediately fell
go,
Omega.
yeah,
How? What kind of?
Yes.
man.
Well,
Palpatine
Omega
had
wasn't
all
hiding
kind of
anything. He
Palpatine had
wasn't
all
hiding
kind of
No, but I'm
anything.
Sith
just saying
artifacts
that
in his
anybody
office.
that's
All
that
kind of
strong with the
shit.
Force, as strong as Palpatine was, they should have been able to feel something
Man,
like
Hey,
this
yeah,
dude
hey,
ain't
he
something.
had all, he hit a button and went behind and pulled out. It was all kind of Sith artifacts,
hey,
and nobody
hey,
in his office felt
hey,
nothing.
hey.
Be like,
Mitch McConnell has a bunch of Confederate artifacts in his office in
and we know he's
DC,
the goddamn racist.
and nobody calls him racist. They say he's
No,
Because
just
he
a
has an
he.
Asian wife.
who
Yes.
doesn't call Mitch McConnell
Who?
racist?
Who
Tons of
don't
white
call
people don't
Mitch
call him
McConnell?
racist. They don't call him racist.
White people.
White
Because
people.
then that means that they have to admit that they racist. They
Yeah, what y'all
Hey,
talking
hey,
about?
hey, hey,
All
hey.
right,
They
we
all.
rewriting this thing. We got to rewrite it. Rewrite it. We gonna
I
start
would
with you,
just
Chuck.
the last thing I would like to say is I would like George Lucas to come out with the dark side moisturizer. For
Ferris.
that
as long as it's
Lynn look.
as long as
Yeah.
it's
For
not
that
the one
Lynn
that
look.
Palpatine's
God,
It's gonna be
using.
made by
Because he's
Yeah, I don't
Rihanna.
want
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
want no, it's for the
Fenty.
ladies.
It's gonna be
we
dark
For the
right.
Fenty.
ladies.
Please, Chuck,
gonna
rewrite
be
this
dark
thing.
Fenty. Dark
Dark
Fenty.
We're
Fenty.
rewriting this thing.
Dark
We're rewriting this
Fenty.
thing.
That's what I
Chuck, what
said.
are we
Dark
rewriting
Fenty.
it?
Uh uh since Dark Fenty line is coming out, we're gonna represent it.
Oh
I'm
Lord.
sticking with the binge-worthy title just because we got BFLs and Dark Fenty, and we got the Stardust out here in space blowing up all
Look,
kinds of shit. The Stardust and Magic City about the same.
Courtney, can you rewrite it? Can you rewrite it?
Ah,
Um, you know, I too second the dark Fenty. And so I am going to stay as a binge worthy.
All right,
Mhm.
bitch, right. All right. Dayla, how are you gonna rewrite it?
Because Barris Offee was able to force push the Grand Inquisitor against the wall, I'm gonna stay at a full binge worthy.
Well,
Yep.
bitch, right.
Wait
All
till she
right.
meets Sabine and they fight for Ezra's love.
You keep
I
saying that. I don't know about
I
that.
am keeping mine at a mini meal. I thought the series was just okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't
Such
love
a
it either.
hater. It is P Valley of the Star Wars galaxy.
Rikai, how are you going to
stop.
rewrite it? Rikai,
Stop
how are
him.
you
He
going to
must be
rewrite it?
stopped. Uh, you know I'm the biggest Star Wars stan, and as much as I wanted to love it, I couldn't. Like I just feel like there were too many holes, too many missed opportunities, not enough viable storytelling. The character that I didn't care a whole lot about, they told a really great story. The character I wanted to see more from, they told a really weak story. So I wanted to go up, but I'm gonna have to stay at a mini meal. I can't even believe I
Okay.
just said that.
I know why you stayed there. I know why you stayed there. It was missing Jussie Smollett and Taraji
Oh
P.
my
Henson,
God.
and it was missing your boy,
Juicy
No,
Smollett.
no,
Juicy
because he got
Juicy
Smollett.
because he was walking to Subway at 2 o'clock in the morning. He got
and
jacked by two Tuscan
and
Raiders.
you were
Like
Okay.
no, it was missing Terrence Howard as Lando Calrissian,
We're keeping it
and
at
you
a
were
full
upset
meal.
about that.
Rikai, you got anything to say before we head out?
hell no.
No, you got to
Ah,
answer,
man,
Randy. You got to tell us what you're keeping it
I
at.
said I
Okay,
kept mine at a
okay,
mini meal. So
okay.
it's the
Yeah.
same score. We all get the same score.
oh my God. Chuck
Rikai,
needs
you
a
got anything
nap.
to say before we head out?
Yes, Chuck needs to go sleep. He needs a nap. He needs some milk. So you got me acting
Blue
silly.
milk,
Now we're gonna go
baby. Blue
to
milk.
Stardust in the Galaxy Strip Club and order some blue milk.
I didn't
And
say it was a strip club. I just said
Oh
it's
yes,
a
you did.
God.
club
You
in
did say it
space.
earlier.
You
Dayla,
did
I
say it was a
alluded
strip
Dayla,
club.
to
do
it.
you have
That's
anything
why
to
you
say
said
before we head out,
Stardust and
man?
Magic City.
We're leaving. Dayla, do you have anything to say before we head out?
Just to honor all the poly celestial folks, and we hope that you join us at the Trek table this Friday here on Binge Worthy at 6:30
Right.
Pacific, and 9:30 Eastern. And it is always, always great to be in this company. And thank you for just all the things I'm gonna think about. And
Yes.
I feel like I want to make a track for Nala Say to sing by your side because that's what where she
Yes.
was for
I bet
Omega.
I bet disco will be better than
Thank
Tales of the
thank you,
Empire.
Dayla.
Oh
Courtney,
my
you got anything to say before we head out, man?
Um, I'm available to do the Dark Fenty commercial. I
You
could
say
be.
first to read. You're supposed to be the voice of reason here. Now they got you.
Wait till them dark skims come
You
out.
were supposed to
Them
be the
dark
spot.
skims.
Not the dark
Now they,
skims.
The
now
dark
they corrupted
skims.
you.
The dark
Yes.
skims are coming.
Before you
I'm
go
the
get
one
your
that
BFL.
started it. I didn't name it Dark Fenty, but
I
you
did.
know,
But you
check
were
Hey, that's
it.
fire
you were
Dark
though.
Fenty.
stable. You were
That's
moving us
It
fire.
along,
was,
and now
and
you're
then
just
I went down
now
the
you're
rabbit
falling to the
hole. It
dark
was a
side.
slippery slope. It was a
So
slippery
please
slope,
go
and
ahead. Go ahead.
I apologize, but I am still available for the Dark Fenty commercial.
He said dark
Um,
skims.
I don't want to do the dark skims. That doesn't sound no. But geek out and good night.
Thank you, Chuck. Go ahead.
Wow.
Why?
Go ahead.
Why?
Why you do that? Why you do
I'm
that?
just saying. Go
I
ahead.
love
This is your
Star
turn.
Wars. I'm Star Wars' biggest fan.
Who said
Stan,
you weren't? You
you
gave it a full
know.
binge out. But go
I gave
ahead.
it a
I
full
guess
binge out, you know. Only thing it missed was lightsabers and go pose, and it's been great. And popcorn buckets apparently, because you need popcorns at the club.
popcorn buckets
You
enough.
know, I'm upset at Luke
To do
Skywalker
what?
because after Luke blew up the nightclub, he went home and drank some blue milk, and then eyeballed Ray for showing up on his planet like, "What you doing here?" Like a wino and drink some blue milk.
Yub nub.
You
We
know.
gotta
All
have a
right.
bar called the Yub Nub.
All right. Benji, thank you for tuning in. We want to give a shout out to Digital Click. They provide all of our marketing and promotional needs. If you want some marketing for your corporation, your organization, then please reach out to Digital Click. Shouts out to Rodney, our technical director. I know he's losing his mind back there as he's had to endure all of this beautiful madness that we put out here. But
Darth Fenty, baby.
good for us. So shouts out. He's the best technical director on the web. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Who do we have? Dark Namja, and who else do we have?
We had Mark.
And we have Mark. And thank you guys. We appreciate you for always coming in, being a part of the conversation, talking in the comments, and really just adding value to this overall experience. The Geekish Network.
Darth Chuck
Chuck
Babius.
Babius. Chuck Babius.
Lord,
Oh
Who
my
put that
gosh.
in there?
oh
Who put
Lord.
that in
The
there?
Geekish Network. We are the premier BIPOC channel, Black Indigenous people of color. And we do this for people who look like you. Amazing creatives, directors, finance, amazing people in front of the camera, behind the camera. And we're working to expand and grow our network. So support us. Like us across all social medias. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What's the other one? Twitch. On Twitch. Share us with your friends. Bring them into the Geekish Network so they can experience this. I'm looking at Rakam move and I don't know, and it just threw me off.
Because all of a sudden they not like us start playing in my head. They
Oh
not
God.
like us.
Yep.
Not
And
like
that's
us.
playing at Jabba strip club with
So
Slave
you're not going to
Leia.
go anywhere and get this type of entertainment backed with in-depth analysis. So please join us. Next week, we're going to do X-Men 97, right? Just finished up. I don't hear anything. So you're going to have to come back and hear what my thoughts are and what the BingeWorthy Screw's thoughts are about X-Men 97. So until then, same geek time, same geek channel. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
The sweetest Naboo.
The sweetest Naboo. Ooh, I love that. That is amazing. Man,
That is fire.
that is